organism can live alone. No organism can survive on its own without depending on its environment. Every organism, for its survival, has to interact with its abiotic and biotic environment. So, if an organism has to successfully adapt and survive in the environment, it will have to interact with its abiotic and biotic environment. Abiotic environment refers to the various non-living factors in the environment like temperature, light, water, humidity and soil. And the biotic factors include, the biotic environment includes the other living organisms. Other living organisms which may belong to the same species of a given organism or another species. So, the environment includes organisms and their interactions with the abiotic and biotic components. The place of living of an organism in its environment is described by the word habitat. Habitat is the place of living. An aquatic animal lives in water. If it lives in pond is its habitat. If it lives in the sea is its habitat. A bird may live inside a crevice in the tree. So, that crevice becomes the habitat. There are organisms which live in the soil. So, soil is their habitat. And the role of the organism, in the environment where it lives. What is the organism meant for? Is it producing the food? Is it just consuming the food? Is it living along with its other individuals of the population, or is it sharing the habitat with other species? All these components, the role of the organism is what is known as niche. In very simple words, we can say habitat is like the address of the organism. So, it tells us where it lives, and niche of the organism is like the profession, what the organism is doing in its habitat, in its environment. So habitat and niche are two components that decide the survival of the organism in the given environment. Coming to the abiotic factors, temperature, light, water, humidity and soil. These are the, you can add wind also. These are the major abiotic factors that decide the survival of the organism in the given environment. Suppose we begin with temperature. Temperature. The ambient temperature in a given environment is always a variable factor. It is always a variable factor. Temperature varies in a span of one day. Temperature regime keeps changing from morning, early morning to afternoon to evening and late night, and temperature also varies over a year. We have different seasons, each characterized by a specific range of temperature. Therefore, life activities depend on temperature. Many of these life activities are catalyzed by specific enzymes. Take for example photosynthesis, respiration, digestion. And these enzymes, for their optimal function, require an optimum temperature. Below and above this optimum temperature, the enzyme activity varies. Accordingly, the life processes change. Similarly, temperature has profound influence on growth of the living organisms. Many species of plants particularly exhibit seasonal growth requiring a particular range of temperature, and temperature also influences reproduction. So temperature becomes one of the very important environmental factor influencing the activities of living organisms.